Whitechapel, night of September 11th, 1888, 10:35 p.m. And with that, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. I'm Crazy KO, and we haven't really figured out what's going on yet. All we know is people are dying, and there was a lot of blood. So we're going back to the police station. Oh, so calmly, as Watson.
Good evening. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all, Doctor. This man, Mr. Richardson, is a witness to the horrid affair at 29 Hanbury Street, the murder of Annie Chapman. We are discussing the relevance of his testimony.
You're probably not in a position to discuss it with me, but I would like to know more about what you call the relevance of this young man's testimony.
Oh, there's no secrecy. It's simply that the testimony given by Mr. Richardson doesn't match the time of death given by the coroner, Dr. Phillips.
What was the time of death, according to him?
Before 4:30 in the morning.
My conclusions were the same. Were there any other conflicting testimonies?
Well, 2 other witnesses summoned at the preliminary inquest gave testimony, but in these cases too, the times don't match.
Do you remember what it was they said?
I didn't question them myself. A colleague of mine took down their statements on paper, but on deciding they were of little use, he tore them up and threw them in the bin.
Oh, good.
There's
That's
no point
good police
in being
work.
bogged down with useless paperwork.
Wow.
I will take my leave,
Useless.
Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Useless.
May I introduce myself? I'm Dr. Watson. I am...
You wouldn't be the chap what writes the detective stories in that there paper?
Well, yes, indeed, my stories have been published in the Strand.
Go blimey, when I tell me old mum.
It would seem your testimony is the subject of
Nice.
some debate. Could you tell me what it was about?
They'll be telling I'm a bit befuddled about the times that I told them. But it can't be so. I knows what I sees and what I don't sees that morning.
What did you see, or what didn't you see? And at what time, would you say?
I'll tell you this for nothing. It's me old mum who lives at the house where the body was found out back in the garden. She has her shop at the bottom to the right of the stairs. Her door was broken down not too far back because it's a real zoo it is. Right, the morning it happened, I head that way to see if me old mum has finally had the place broken into. It was 4:45 when I got there. That I'll swear on me dear old mum's life. I had a look round to see if the cellar had been taken. No. I had a little sit down on the stairs by the courtyard because me shoes were causing me no end of pain and I had a cut and all. I didn't seize a single thing below the steps, Doctor, not one single thing. If there was some bird all covered in blood, tain't no how I could have missed that, even if it were night time. Right, 5 minutes after getting to number 29, I had to clip off. And now they tells me that either I can't tell time no more, or I was fixing me loafer next to a stiff that was still steaming.
Nice.
All right then, evening gents.
I love it when we get the, like, Cockney crazy accents. It's great. Do I need to talk to you again?
Yes, Doctor?
Oh, okay.
So,
do.
how far along are the investigations into these 2 recent murders?
Everyone around here believes both crimes were committed by the same man. But as for the Hanbury Street and Bucks Row crimes, nobody has heard or seen a thing.
That's always good.
By the way, have you heard of a Dr. Tumblety?
No. Is it important?
Yes. Well, no, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I have heard about this man, his frequent nocturnal outings and bizarre behaviour.
What does this chap look like, Doctor? And where can we find him?
The last I heard was that he was staying at Finley's place, the man who was looking for me a few days ago.
It would greatly assist us if you could ask Finley what your strange associate looks like. We could then see if the description matches any witness accounts.
You can't do that? You're the police.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
The police are really useless, aren't they? Okay. Well, let's go talk to Finley first, I guess. Finley! And then we'll go...
There is a strong smell of gas. It seems to
Broken
be coming from
windows.
the abandoned building.
Fun. Finley!
Good evening, Finlay. How are you?
Oh, good evening, Doctor. So. And you?
It smells of gas here.
You might say, Doctor. Without wanting to speak ill of the force, I have to wonder if the police are up to something.
What do you mean?
Well, I was outside yesterday evening when the light went out at my place, and a gas smell came from the abandoned building across from my place. And a minute later, the police arrived and was snooping all around like it was them who hid the gas before arriving.
Have things sorted themselves out with your strange tenant?
Don't talk about it, Doctor. That man is truly bizarre.
Truly
He goes to the most
bizarre.
sordid locations once night falls. 3 days ago, my wife told me she saw him come in with blood-stained clothes and a fearsome look.
Ooh.
Interesting. What does he look like, and how old is he?
Oh, he's my age, give or take, so the other side of 50. He's always dressed in a striking manner with an American hat. He's big, close to 5'11", I'd say. He has a strange voice, not just his accent, see, his voice.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finlay.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Now then, let's go to the police station.
Again? Can we maybe do, some multitasking, Watson?
There is a strong smell of gas. It seems to be coming from the abandoned building.
Just break your neck there for a bit, Watson. Okay. Anything... Ah! Watson! Apparently that takes us where we don't actually want to go. Can we go up these stairs? Cool. I just wanted to see if there was anything else with this abandoned buildingness, but apparently not. Yeah. Okay. Apparently there's nothing there. But before we go back, I wanted to go to the clinic and ask about those pills. Wow, you opened the door from way over there. Watson is officially a wizard.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons.
Dr. Watson,
Did you keep the cane we spoke of last time?
I was going to sell it tomorrow, would you believe, having not heard word.
Do you have any formalin here?
No, definitely not. They have it in university hospitals to conserve anatomical specimens in jars. But in a little clinic like mine, we don't keep anything but bad memories.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
This
Goodbye,
poor
Dr. Watson.
guy. Okay.
I must retrieve Sickert's cane at all costs.
Yes, I know. Give me 1 sec. And I knew that the name Sickert sounded familiar. And like the fact that he was an artist and stuff sounded familiar. Is this what
Yes,
I wanted?
Doctor?
Oh, I actually wanted to give him the harness, but
Did you keep the
No,
cane
no.
we spoke of last time?
I was going to sell it tomorrow, would you
Don't
believe, having not heard word.
oh, we have to go talk to the dude first. Okay.
Could you tell
Sorry.
me what type of pill this is?
Yes, we have those here.
I'll talk
Not really
after
a
they're done
medication.
talking.
We give them to patients with chronic respiratory conditions like tuberculosis.
Did you have a patient by the name of Annie Chapman, the woman killed 3 days ago?
Indeed, she came in the morning of her death. Poor woman.
Did you give her these pills?
Yes, now that I think of it. She actually came in twice. The first time I gave her an almost empty container without making her pay. She came back during the day and said she dropped the container and stepped on the pills. She wanted to know if I could give her more again without paying. I refused. After she left, a patient who was there told me that he lives at the same place and confided that she had been lying. He saw the pills fall in the tenement's communal kitchen, but the woman immediately wrapped them up in a piece of paper.
Where did this paper come from?
According to this man, she'd found it near the chimney in the kitchen.
Anyone could have thrown that paper there. That envelope can't have anything to do with the murder.
Pardon, Doctor?
Nothing. I was just talking to myself.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
Now I know somewhere else we
I
need
must
to go.
retrieve Sickert's cane at all
you told me.
costs.
But what I was going to say is, one of the current theories, which if you watch the BuzzFeed, I'll link it again below, for who Jack the Ripper might have been was an artist named Walter Sickert. So that's kind of fun that they threw that in there. He doesn't really match any of the descriptions of the person they put in the game, as far as I can tell from what I've learned about him, but that's still kind of a fun little nod to the fact that he existed. Yeah. I was looking for my map. There he is, Cobbler Shop. I like how I come here always in the dead of night. This poor guy, just trying to run his business. And here I am, always late at night. Hey, you are here. Hey, buddy. Can I talk to you? As I do my weird little
Good
turnaround.
evening, Mr. Solomonovich.
Good evening, Doctor. What a pleasure to see you again.
Aw, he likes me.
Have you finished converting the harnesses?
Yes, just now. I got a little behind because of all the commotion.
Cool.
Commotion?
Don't you start. 3 days ago, the very afternoon that you passed by, there was a chase throughout the neighborhood.
Chase.
Hundreds of people were chasing one man, claiming he was responsible for the murders these last few days. Schmonz! It was awful.
I think it was
I hope
actually
those maniacs
secretly
didn't catch
this
him.
dude.
Better the
He's
police
too
should.
happy. He's secretly Jack the Ripper.
Commotion?
That
Don't
would
you
actually be
start.
kind of funny.
3 days ago, the very afternoon that you passed by,
I
there was a
already
chase throughout the
did
neighborhood.
this. What?
Hundreds of people were chasing one man, claiming he was responsible for the murders these last few days. Schmonz! It was awful. I hope those maniacs didn't catch him. Better the police should.
Sorry, I meant to click
Tell
on
me,
this one.
did John Pizer turn himself in to the police?
Things unfolded as they should. Look in the newspaper, the Daily News from today.
Farewell, Isaac.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Cool. Alright, Daily News, United Kingdom, Whitechapel murders. Yay! There was a good reason why, without prejudice to the case of the man who is now in custody, the public acceptance of the maniacal theory should be endorsed and encouraged. There is positive danger in the growth of any other opinion as present in Whitechapel. As we have said, the mutilation of bodies, excepting in rare cases to further the murderer's chance of safety, is foreign to the English style in crime. There is disposition at once, therefore, to set down such atrocities to the credit of some ill-bred and ill-nourished foreigner from the lowest dens and vices in Europe. So in Whitechapel, there was... Sorry, itchy neck. There was arising a murmur of ugly foreboding for some of the foreign elements there. Sheer rumor of the silliest kind was beginning to take an odious precision, and there was an arising in the East End, a Judenhell's more abhorrent than which abroad is due to religious fanaticism. To hate the Jew for his... What? Oh, fanaticism. Sorry. Fanaticism. Reading's hard. To hate the Jew for his religion, to call him misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon his Jewish gabardine, even metaphorically, is bad enough, but to call him leather apron, and to imply thereby his readiness to murder women and practice anatomy with his knife upon them, is the refinement of cruelty. Wow. There was reason to fear till yesterday that the tendency towards thus insulting the Jews of Whitechapel was growing amid the embarrassing perplexity as the origin of the murders. The police have discouraged this line of suspicion by acting momentarily upon it, and then proving by the release of the Jew whom they arrested that there was no doubt of his innocence. For the happy result, we may look lightly upon the apparently ludicrous error of this arrest. Pizer, the man arrested, was found sitting quietly at home, totally undisturbed by any panic or bloodthirsty demand for the mythical personage, Leather Apron. He is said to be a poor, sickly man, whom it was not possible to associate with the assassin now so eagerly wanted, and the reporters seem to have found, what the police might easily also have learned, that he had not left his house since Thursday last. Pizer, however, will probably not regret his short detention if it is finally put to a stop at the anti-Jewish suspicions. The inquest of the body of Annie Chapman was opened yesterday, but without throwing any new light on the murder. As a result of the investigations of the police into the circumstances attending the murder of Annie Chapman at Whitechapel, several men were arrested yesterday on suspicion. The arrests which were considered to be of most importance were those of a Polish Jew named Pizer near the scene of the crime, and of a man named Piggott at Gravesend. Pizer was released last evening, but Piggott, being considered to be insane, is to be detained under observation. Nice. Okie dokie. Well, that's good that that sort of worked out for him. Cool. Well, now we can return here. do. We can come over here. We're gonna grab from our inventory harness for prosthesis, and we're gonna stab the doctor in the back. No.
Yes, Doctor?
Here are your harnesses, Doctor.
They are top quality, I'd say. Definitely worth the price of this walking stick. Here, it's yours.
Cool.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
I
Alrighty.
must go to Miss Bella's.
Yes, we will do that quick, because it's on the way to the police station. To the brothel. Ollie? Thought I heard a little Ollie noise. I did hear a little Ollie noise. Hello, Ollie. Ollie, it's in the room. Okay, Miss Bella, where are you? There you are.
Good evening, ma'am. Your door was open. Isn't that a little dangerous?
Hello, Doctor. Don't worry if the looks of anyone who enters doesn't please me. Me and my pistol know how to convince them to leave.
Nice.
I found the cane that was stolen from your client. Here it is.
Doctor, you are a real saint, I can see that. I'll finally be able to present my bill to this damned painter. If by chance you see him, tell him that a little surprise awaits him here.
You told me you would give me some information on this Dr. Tumblety.
Agreed. He's a Canadian or an American. He parades from time to time through the neighbourhood in a 50-guinea suit and acts like a
Background
doctor.
noises in
But
here.
for business, he isn't worth it. This damn Yankee hates women. The few times that he was approached by the girls, he spit on them, all the while hurling insults. It would seem that he was hunting for the bad boys. He's looking for trouble, that animal.
Does he frequent any pub in particular?
Aye, the Wasp's Nest on Burner Street, I think. A seedy spot even by our standards.
Cool.
Do you happen to know Annie Chapman, the poor woman who was killed 3 days ago?
Dark Annie? Like all the drifters in the area, I've seen her once or twice. With respect to the dead, Annie really was the bottom of the barrel.
What do you mean?
Well, in our profession, the pretty young ones go out when night has barely fallen and don't have a problem finding takers. But poor girls like Annie or Polly Nichols, who aren't as tender and are often sick, sometimes trudge around for a whole night in the cold and the rain before landing a client. And that doesn't help their appearances either. They don't have much choice about paying for a bed for a few hours, a glass of gin or a hot meal.
How terribly sad.
That's the price of survival in Whitechapel, my angel. One of my girls knew Annie for some time. They bought some jewellery on the black market, I think.
Jewellery? How could Annie Chapman have possibly afforded jewellery?
Luxuries for a woman are always relative to her condition, Doctor. As a matter of fact, it was real cheap junk. Annie got 3 assorted brass rings, I think. It's been said I have a memory for jewellery.
How is Lucy keeping?
She's doing well, Doctor, but believe me, it won't last. Rare are the girls who can build a future in our profession.
Very well, I shall let you get back to work, Mark.
See you soon, my love.
There we go. Yeah, it's sad, but that's the way society was back then. A lot of women got stuck in the streets. Well, and a lot of men too. It was just, there was a real disparity in society. So it's sad to see. Okay, let's see. We needed to go... Oh, we could go to the Wasp Nest. But we should maybe check in at the police station just in case we learn anything before we go to the Wasp Nest. Let's do that.
Yes, Doctor.
Tumblety!
Tumblety is a man around 5'11", about 55 years old, extravagantly dressed and with a rather distinctive voice. He boards at Finley's. You should know where that is, as the police were there only yesterday. Their arrival coincided with a strange gas leak.
Ah, yes, I know where you mean. Indeed, there was an odd affair with the gas. It was rather unsettling. We were searching for a well-known scoundrel who was ratted out by Squibby, the chap we followed and saved from the pack a few days ago. This thug, no pity
Squibby.
Bluto, must have been in the
Bluto.
abandoned building in question. But there was no sign of him when we arrived. Furthermore, an inspector said that, given the smell, the thingamabob that supplies gas to the building was probably damaged. So we took no risks and were called away somewhere else.
Intriguing.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Everything okay? Yeah. What did Mum want? What? Ah. Okay. Alright, with that, let's head to the pub. Because pubs are fun. Ooh, this.
The Wasp's Nest. This pub looks even more disreputable than the Golden Lion in Baker Street.
Probably is incredibly disreputable because it's in Whitechapel. Hey.
Good evening, sir.
It'll be the coup of my career, Governor said. Ha! You'll make loads of doss of the paper, he said.
You're a journalist?
That's so. Tom Bulling at your service. The Whitechapel ferret, the wizard with the scoop.
You don't appear to be in a state to write anything, my friend.
You're mistaken.
I know.
Whiskey passes through the blood and turns into ink. Simple. You see, mugs and inkwells are all the same.
Don't you think you should settle your tab and go home?
My red ink? Where's my red ink? I won't even pay half a halfpenny if they don't return my red ink. It's my blood you hear.
Okay.
Very well, I'll be on my way.
A little bit crazy. And drunk. Crazy drunk. Hey, it's you. Mr. Sickert. Your cane is at the brothel.
Good evening, sir.
Well, I know you. Why, we met at Miss Poolman's the other day. So you've come to slum it in Whitechapel, eh?
Do you know Dr. Tumblety, a Canadian or American chap? Quite an extravagant dresser. Frequents this pub now and then.
Are you intimate?
No. What do you mean by that?
Oh dear.
Oh, nothing.
Poor Watson.
Nothing at all. I just wanted to prove my discretion concerning this man, in so much and so far as I know him. You wouldn't like it if one day the tables were turned and everyone was talking about why you were in the borough. Isn't that so?
As it happens, I saw Miss Pullman recently. She told me that she couldn't wait to see you again. She said something about a surprise that is waiting for you at her establishment.
Why, that is some of the best news I've heard, my friend. As thanks, I would like to let you in on a secret. The man that you were talking about, and whom I happen to know by sight, passed by and went through that little door that you see over there. Another man let him in. They weren't together for more than a few minutes, to be sure, eh?
Well, I will continue my search.
Ah, love.
But what is this person trying to imply?
Oh dear, poor Watson.
This matter
Just
is
his
beyond
brain
me.
does not work. Okay. But at the same time, society at this point, like, homosexuality was
Greetings,
outlawed
my
and
good
illegal.
man. Could I have a pint?
And it wasn't really talked about, and if you did talk about it, I mean, it would be fine to talk about it in Whitechapel because they're
Here,
like,
Gov.
lower class, but the upper class is just, you would never talk about it.
I've been told that Dr. Tumblety might be found around here. Is that so?
I don't do a roll call of all the drunkards here. I've got
Sorry,
my hands full
Ollie's
just
here.
making sure I get their money.
Don't people pay when they order?
Nah, look at that little scribbler there. Completely dead drunk. Tonight's tally is about as long as his arm. If he skips out, I'll be in for a guinea almost.
Wow. Maybe
Goodbye,
you should
my friend.
make your
Oi,
people pay.
That's it.
What? Yes? No? Okay. We're gonna go knock on this door and see what we find.
Hey, you can't go in there. It's private. Got it?
Oh. What if I really want to?
Leave me alone. I bet this miserable act, the bloke that mopes there, will do a runner and leave me with the unpaid bill.
What's behind that locked door over there? Can I go in?
Not likely. And let me be unless you're wanting a drink. Got it?
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
I like how we're just trying to be nice to him and he's like, no! No one is that nice here. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy to maybe pay his
You're
bill.
the best. The boss told me. My reading. Well, where's he be?
What does that mean?
Very well, I'll be
Isn't
on
it
my
right
way.
there in the pot?
No, that's black ink.
I swear it looked red. Red ink. Red ink. Watson, what does that mean? I don't see ink. Ooh.
This is the sink where the barmaid puts the glasses to soak. Look, red ink. What's that doing here? The bottle is closed. There must still be some ink inside, and it looks like a glass. The barmaid must have put ink into the sink by mistake.
Ink in the
Right.
sink.
Do I
Ink
get in
the
your way?
sink.
Me?
If you'll
This guy
excuse me,
hates
sir.
me. This guy hates me. Ink in the sink. Ink in the sink. I like
You're
it.
the best. The boss told me. My reading. Well, where's he be?
Right here.
I found your red ink, my friend. You should settle up and head home.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. The spring-heeled phantom will be revived.
Ah, yes, Spring-Heeled Jack was, did he murder people? Or did he just steal things? Yeah, but I think, he was blamed for break-ins in houses. So look him up, too. Maybe I'll put something in the description below. Spring-Heeled Jack. Apparently, yeah, the British people just like to name all of their problems on Jack. So don't be a person named Jack in the UK or in this time period, or someone might get angry with you. Okay, now that he's hopefully paid and didn't just run away.
Gov?
Here you go. It's on the journalist, my friend.
I owe you one. The next one is on me. What'll it be?
Next one, I haven't
Nothing,
drank
thanks.
anything yet.
But I may
But sure.
need your help.
Aha!
Listen, my friend. I would like you to let me in the door over there.
You're a bobby. A peeler?
Absolutely not, my friend. I am a doctor.
Fine. I owe you this at least. There's a bloke behind that door there. No
Bluto.
pity Bluto. Let's just say he wants to
He's the one
lay
who's
low for
supposed
a
to be
moment.
in the
So I
abandoned
don't
building.
think you'll be opening the door just now. Unless... Tell him you have word from Squibby. That'll open the door. But who can say what'll happen when the door closes?
I feel like this guy's gonna murder me. He's just gonna, when I try and go in this
Goodbye,
door, he's
my
gonna
friend.
come up behind
Oi,
me and
that's
stab me in the
it.
back because he hates me. And I don't know why. What did I do? I guess I existed.
Let me in. I have news from Squibby. But stay calm.
Squibby!
And who are you? Where's Squibby? He's out.
To be honest, I don't actually know this Squibby chap. I was actually wondering if you knew Dr. Tumblety, a Canadian or American
I feel like
fellow.
you should have gone
He
in the
came
room
in-
first before you
Sure
did
we
this.
know him.
Excellent. Can you...
You know about gas?
I'm afraid not. I am a doctor.
Then I ain't interested. You can be leaving now. But if I find out who snitched to the peelers, I'll find you. Got it?
But I can pay you for...
Keep your coins for the paupers, or one of the gas boys who ain't afraid of nothing and knows how to hold his tongue. You bring him to me. I'll meet with you.
A gas boy or Squibby? Or both? Who's Squibby? Maybe he knows. Just watch, he probably doesn't.
Gav?
No? Okay.
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
This guy hates me. Alright, so we either have to find a gas boy or a squibby or both. Nice. Okay. If I was a gas boy, squibby, or both, where would I live? Let's just snoop around a bit. Maybe we'll find something. Manufacturer, men's club. Hey, are you a gas boy or squibby?
Tell me, is it...
I was in Crimea, I was, sir, and you owe me some respect.
Okay. See you later. He was in Crimea.
No, it would be better not to insist.
Hey.
Tell me, is it...
I'm on duty, sir.
So you can't talk to people? Okay. Watson running down the road. Can't talk to you. Can't talk to you. Ooh, a dark alley. Are we gonna get murdered? That would be... Oh, I'm back here. Okay. Go back. Okay, or don't go this way. We're just gonna search all of Whitechapel. Wow, I like how he's actually like running down the sidewalk. Oh, never mind, he's in the road now. Nope, that's the way we came from. This way! Anybody seen any gas boys? No? Yes? Maybe? I just have to check this side of the street now because you don't get to see both at once. Because that would be convenient. Okay. Maybe Lucy knows some gas boys. I feel like that might be a thing that Lucy knows. Lucy knows everything. Did I just turn around? No, okay.
I have no reason to go that way.
Okay. Let's go down this dark place. Are you a gas boy? I can't talk to you. Okay. Just gonna run you over. Wow, Watson, you're not very nice, are you? Alright, we're by the clinic again. Watson's getting all of his cardio in for today. Hello. Oh yes, this street. I remember this street.
I have no reason to go that way.
Okay, well let's maybe... Where am I? You actually told me where I am.
You are here.
Here?
Here.
Oh, okay. I went to the very opposite end of anything. Let's maybe go Finley? Question mark? Finley, do you have anything for me?
Anything else, Doctor?
Nope.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finley.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Okay, police station.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Home.
I could return to Baker Street, but I am still missing some information.
Like what?
And that would put Holmes in a devil of a mood.
Lucy! Nope, she's not home. Okay. Brothel! I'm running out of ideas, guys. Running out of ideas. That guy also looks like he wants to kill me. Oh, brothel lady, where are you? There you are.
You're still there, Doctor?
Very well, I shall let you get back to work, Mark.
See you soon, my love.
Well, now I'm officially out of ideas, unless it's the cobbler. Conscience is humming again. You know I'm doing things completely wrong when Conscience starts humming. Hey, Mr. Dude, Shoe Dude.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Apparently nothing.
Farewell, Isaac.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Oh, I haven't gone back to the clinic. Maybe this guy knows. Then I'm gonna be officially out of places to go. Hey, do you have any gas, boys? No. Okay. Doctor.
Yes, Doctor?
No. Okay.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
Yes, Doctor. Well, farewell, Doctor. Goodbye, Doctor. Okay. I have no items. No new documents. I have this note. Yeah, which is just about the murder. Deductions, conclusions. Nothing. Conscience, can I use a phone a friend?
Go back to the police station.
Go back to the police station?
What do you need in the police station?
I was just at the police station. I need something?
You need something.
Yeah, like Holmes, I need something. Okay, uniforms. Helmets. Papers. Ooh.
Look, a suspect description. Michael Ostrog, wanted for questioning. Dangerous.
I don't think that's relevant to our case, but sure. Ooh. A door.
Closed.
I like how their papers are just kept, like, in boxes on shelves. Watson, I can't get back. There's nowhere to go. Oh, there we go. I need something, but I don't know what I need. Can I talk to you now? Can you let me in that door?
Yes, Doctor.
No.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
I'll steal the picture of the Queen hanging above your door.
I'll
Conscience!
also tell you that something has already been mentioned to you.
The bin! The bin! Right. Duh.
It's okay. It took
Here
me
are the
forever to
ripped
figure
statements.
it out,
I can
too.
piece
This
them
was the
together
one thing
again.
I was spending hours trying to figure out.
How do I... Oh, there we go. Okay. Is there more than one?
There's two.
There's two. Okay. Do they both fit here? Do they go,
Yes.
like, this way?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. Okay. I know I don't know which one is which, but for now, we'll just put them there. Okay, that's where that one would go. This one fits with neither of those, so for now it can go there. Nope, nope. Let's put it there. That one goes with that one. Doesn't go with that one, so we'll put it here. That one's just blank, so that's good. That one goes with that one, which doesn't go with that one, which could mean that this one goes this way, which fits with that one, which doesn't fit with that one. Okay, so then this one goes with this one, probably. Okay. Wow, I actually had those ones right. Nice. Where's the other one? There we go. Nice. I love puzzles. Puzzles are great. Okay, so this one would go here somewhere, theoretically. There. 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 Working class. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look
There,
at that.
all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Alright, testimony of E. Long. On the morning of the murder, the witness left her domicile at 32 Church Street at approximately 5 a.m. to get Spitalfields? To get to, oh, that's why I missed the second two. Spitalfields Market. She was passing down Hanbury Street about 5:30 a.m. The witness was certain of the time as she declares that she heard the clock at the Black Eagle Brewery on the Brick Lane strike the half hour just before she entered the street. In front of 29 Hanbury Street, she saw a man and a woman talking. It should be noted that the witness identified the body of Annie Chapman at the morgue as being the aforementioned woman. This identification was solicited by our services. The man seen with the victim is described by the witness as follows. Age, at least 40 years old. Height, a little taller than the woman with whom he was discussing, approximately 5 feet 3 inches. Clothing, brown deerstalker hat, dark coat. A doubt on this point. General appearance of the working class. Particular markings, dark hair and mustache, dark face, look like a foreigner. The witness only saw the man from behind and wouldn't be able to recognize or identify him. The term foreigner is often associated with a person of Jewish origin. What about the other testimony? There was 2. Do I not care about the other one? Suspicious. I should have read it.
Right click.
Oh. Oh. How would I know to do that?
It's obvious.
Well, usually I can scroll. It's not obvious. Conscience is being mean. Testimony of A. Kadosh. The witness resides at 27 Hanbury Street. The building adjoins number 29 of the same street, and the 2 respective backyards are separated by a wooden fence, tall and thin. On the morning of the murder, the witness got up at 5:15 a.m. and was into the yard where the latrine was. It was then 5:20 a.m. On going back into the house, the witness heard voices from behind the fence, coming from number 29. The only word that he understood was no. He went into the building again, but returned to the yard approximately 4 minutes later, whereupon he heard a noise, as if something fell against a fence. He then departed for work. When he passed in front of Spitalfields Church, it was approximately 5:32 a.m. Okay. Interesting. What? Oh, another thing. April 1886. At gunpoint from the White Plume Mountain Inn, also called the Kayak Affair, 5 years, Dartmoor. Benjamin Benny the Sculler, faggot 46. Houndsditch falsifying bank records using false bank records, misappropriation of funds to the detriment of Royal Bank of London, 8 years, Dartmoor. Jacob Levy 30, Aldgate theft of weight of meat from employer. Hyman Sapson butcher at 58 Golston Street, Whitechapel, 20 months, Essex County Asylum. Ron Obvious. These guys have the weirdest names. 26, address unknown, vagrancy, embezzlement, indecent assault, degradation of religious building to the detriment of the authorities in charge of the Chichester Cathedral, City of London, lunatic asylum, indeterminate duration. James Longfoot Jim Noser, 20, Whitechapel.
An old report on arrests that took place a few years earlier. Well, it would seem that I have all the information I need for my investigation. Anyway, this fellow Bluto at the Wasp's Nest is rather shady and doesn't look like he'll want to cooperate. I'd be better off returning to Baker Street. Holmes will certainly know what to do. And besides, I am worn out.
Poor little baby Watson. He's worn out. That's not what I wanted. There we go.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home. There we are, Holmes.
Baker
I've
Street,
told you in great
8:30
detail everything that happened last night.
Excellent work, Watson. We shall now be prepared to answer a few questions about the horrible murder in Hanbury Street.
Do you think we are now in a position to find out the identity of the murderer of these 2 women?
No, I don't think so. It's outside of our scope and not our responsibility. As much as you've done for Leather Apron and the affair with the pills, our mission is to help the police by ensuring that they don't get caught up following false leads and to point them in the right direction. Let us start from what we know with some certitude. As you have just said, it is almost certain that the same person killed the Bucks Row and Hanbury Street victims. The reason to assume as much are numerous, and I shan't elaborate here. What do these 2 victims have in common?
Oh, they don't have anything in common. They knew people in common. They had the same profession.
It's true these 2 women were in the same profession, but...
Indeed, Watson. These 2 women were both prostitutes. That is of vital importance, Watson.
Aha.
My memory from your examination of the scene is rather hazy. Didn't you say something about the killer's frame of mind?
I was talking about the victim's possessions that were placed on the ground and the rings missing from Annie Chapman's fingers. This killer is a cunning predator, comes from a rather humble background, and shows steely self-control in carrying out the murders.
Something is puzzling me, Holmes. Richardson's testimony contradicts the time of death given by Dr. Phillips, which also matches my own, 4:30 a.m.
And yes, we shall confirm that, Watson, and attempt to determine the precise time of death. In order to do that, we will need to place everyone involved on a timeline.
Oh,
Only
dear.
after that,
That'll be my
we will
job,
be able
won't
to
it?
place the knife symbolizing our killer. Let's look at our timeline,
Oh
Watson.
no. I don't want to look at your timeline. No, Holmes, you have to actually come over this way. No? Okay. I don't want to look at a timeline.
There is nothing more to do here.
Oh. I was trying to find your timeline. Which one's your timeline? Oh, there we go. Oh no. Determine the exact time of Annie Chapman's murder. Yay! What?
Just start at the other end.
We left the station at 6 o'clock and it took...
What?
We left the station at 6 o'clock and it took us 20 minutes to arrive at Hanbury Street.
So, 6 o'clock?
Let's put the time of death as assessed by Dr. Phillips on the timeline. The assessment of the time of the murder given by Dr. Phillips and yourself, Watson, 4:30 a.m.
Oh, so then this one's wrong? No.
Our arrival at the scene occurred
okay.
at around
wanted that one.
6:20. Given the distance separating the two locations, we can deduce that the corpse wasn't discovered after 6 o'clock, and therefore that the murder must have been committed before.
Told you, start at the other end. There, you've done that one.
Okay.
So the next one. You have to find the documents that you're using.
Why? Oh, I see. Okay, Oh, just something with time?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what you're doing. Timeline.
Okay. Okay, exhumed woman at 29 Hanbury Street, which was around 5:30.
Now, for the most important part, the testimony of Miss Long. She claims to
I
have seen
have
a
her
woman
head.
speaking to
I
a
have
man
her
near
head.
29 Hanbury Street sometime around... What time, Watson?
5:30.
Let us assume, therefore,
Okay,
that
I
Miss
get
Long's
this now.
testimony is, as is most
I get
certainly
it.
the
I
case,
get it.
true. She places her meeting with the victim at around 5:30, claiming to have heard a clock chime on the half hour at the moment when she enters the street.
Okay, so then I need the other one. Oh. Oh, we probably need. Where is he? There, this one. 4:45 when he got there. Okay.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline.
Okay. When did he leave? Five minutes after.
Now, let's
he
put
got
the
there.
Richardsons' arrival
Okay.
and departure times on the timeline.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Despite the great respect I have for Dr. Phillips and the value I place on our friendship, my deepest conviction is that both of you are mistaken, and that Richardson is in the right, and that these two testimonies put down in writing have real worth.
But how? Explain yourself, Holmes.
Remember how you assessed the time of death? You touched the fingers and body of the victim, but it was remarkably cold for this time of year. In addition, the corpse had been drained of bodily fluids. Its heat retention was therefore no longer the same as that of an intact corpse.
Egad! You're
Gad!
right, Holmes.
Oh, I've had some time to research, Watson.
Given these facts, my first diagnosis may have been off by half an hour, perhaps even an hour.
Thus, we can confirm Richardson's statement and establish that the murder was committed after 4:50 a.m. and not before 4:30 a.m.
Nice. Okay. Oops. Why don't I have a use this document?
You already have. That's
Oh, I
Our
see. There's a
next
thing
culprit
there. Oh,
is
okay. It
Albert
wasn't colored
Gosh.
in, so I didn't think it was an actual thing. He heard. Goes back in. Okay, 5:15, 5:20. Somebody fell against the fence. 4 minutes later, we're going to hear the noise again. So about 5:24.
Let's place this symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline.
Nope. Nope.
Albert Kadosh
There.
goes down into his garden at approximately 5:20, and on re-entering his home, hears voices in number 29's garden.
Alright, fall against the fence was
Let's
at
place
5:24.
this symbol
Okay.
that represents Kadosh on the timeline.
5:24.
Kadosh goes back down into his garden approximately 4 minutes after having left it, and hears the sound of an impact against the wooden fence.
Leaves his place
Let's
at...
place this symbol that represents Kadosh on the timeline. Kadosh leaves the
we
garden,
go.
enters his house, then leaves for work, seeing the clock on the Spitalfields church showing 5:32. Excellent, Watson. All our people are now in place.
Yes, but
I like how
Holmes,
what
Miss
they're looking at
Long
on the
claims
wall
to have
looks
seen the
nothing like
victim
what
at
I
around
just made.
5:30. But according to Kadosh, someone, most certainly the victim and her murderer, was already in the garden at 5:30.
Excellent observation, Watson. It must be noted, however, that these two witnesses, Long and Kadosh, saw the time shown on the clocks in the area, which are often inaccurate and went by their empirical and, in this case, erroneous estimate of how much time had passed. Thus, neither of these two times can be considered reliable.
Do you mean to say that these two testimonies might match?
Indeed. Let's put Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30. Let's add Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30 a.m. Mr. Kadosh claims to have passed by the Spitalfields church at 5:32, which, given the distance from 27 Hanbury Street, would mean he was still at home at 5:31. Let's therefore put the end of his testimony at 5:31.
Okay.
Miss Long heard the man say to the victim, "Will you?" To which the victim responded, "Yes," which would suggest that an agreement was reached and that the transaction was imminent. They then proceeded to enter the garden, which puts the voices heard by Kadosh at 5:29. We had thought that Kadosh had left 27 Hanbury Street at 5:31 after having heard an impact against the fence. Thus, 2 minutes passed between the moment when Kadosh entered the house after having been in the garden the first time and the moment when he returns to go out again and leave for work. How long did he estimate this interval to be? 3 to 4 minutes. In light of all this, Watson, we can finally establish the time of Chapman's murder. Now, place the knife at the exact time.
Knife?
Yeah, the knife. You gonna pick up the knife?
Where? I don't see a knife. Oh, there it is.
Knife
I didn't see a knife.
Now then, taking into account that the local clock isn't exact and that a young man was off by a minute or two in his estimations of his comings and goings, we can confirm Miss Long's testimony and place the time of the crime at approximately
It seemed
5:30.
like a lot of work.
But in that case, Holmes, the man that Miss Long saw is none other than...
That's right, Watson. It was the Whitechapel killer.
To think that Miss Long and Kadosh were only a few feet away from him.
Indeed, Watson.
What?
Had Miss Long passed just a little closer to the victim and her assassin, or had the young Kadosh popped his head over the fence out of curiosity, the killer would most certainly already be behind bars.
That's some stroke of luck he had there.
I couldn't agree more, Watson. But his luck didn't end there, given the mutilations inflicted upon this poor woman. What must be considered above all is the killer's obvious wish to remove one and only one specific organ. His surgery pinpointed the exact spot, avoiding superfluous incisions. This suggests the man possesses at least a minimal anatomical knowledge.
Are you suggesting a doctor or a butcher?
Perhaps, but the possibilities are still too broad to conclude with any certainty. Now for the motive. Despite my almost complete lack of practical experience
Do I
on
have
the
to do another one of
subject,
these
I have a
motive
rather
boards?
precise idea of the usefulness of
This
a
game has too
uterus
many
and
boards.
a vagina. Nonetheless, once they are separated from their usual envelope,
Too many
I am more
boards.
circumspect as to the uses one can make of them. What do you think, Watson?
Or we could just let Holmes tell us
Need
his
a board,
conclusions. I don't want to do a murder relevance whatever board.
There is nothing more to do here.
Oh. Then where's my new one? Hello? Hello?
It's on a different wall.
On a different wall. Why are we switching walls? Why are we switching walls? Oh, it's over here now. Did we run out of wall space on that wall? Maybe you shouldn't have so many boards. Oh dear. For specimen for the soul. Well, that could be possible. Purpose of study? I mean, theoretically, but no. Black magic. Yes, it's always black magic. Cannibalism? Trophy? Yes. Money? Maybe. Students easily have access to a number of specimens.
Perhaps it was intended as a study specimen.
I have little faith in that theory. Hardly anything was taken from the Bucks Row victim.
Nice. So, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe.
Yeah, he only says something if your thing is right. It doesn't mean your yes no is right. But...
Oh, okay. Any type of ritual. No indication would suggest any type of ritual.
Black magic?
Watson, this line of investigation is far too vague. We don't have a single clue in support of such a motive. We can eliminate this hypothesis.
So, no. Dementia can push men to commit incredibly vile acts. I don't see how that fits with cannibalism, trophies, or money, but sure. It would have been easy to quickly remove something from the Bucks Row victim, Polly Nichols.
A desire for some sort of morbid trophy.
I'd be inclined to dismiss this motive. If this were the case, why would nothing have been removed from the Bucks Row victim?
So, no. Human organ trafficking.
Money, quite simply.
Even if this motive seems incongruous, we're in no position to deny or affirm it until we know whether a market for human organs exists.
So, yes. Apparently cannibalism has to do with dementia.
Holmes, what if it was cannibalism?
Even if the idea is unbearable, we can't ignore it as a possibility. Elementary. What emerges
What
from
does that
these
have to do with
possible motives for
dementia?
having removed the uterus from the second victim is that they imply
Because all crazy
that the killer
people have
could have
dementia.
carried out the same thing on the Bucks Row
This is
victim,
the 1800s.
yet didn't. This brings us to a terrible conclusion. Our killer has evolved in the space of only a few days, and if that's the case, had he already struck before the first murder to which we attribute him? And if the killer strikes again, what atrocity awaits his next victim?
We have to stop him, Holmes.
We shall do our best. This recent business of jars filled with formalin and of the American doctor might be a lead. Watson, inquire among medical circles to ascertain if there is a black market for human organs. The chances are slim, but this must be pursued.
Very well. What about you, Holmes?
I will send word to Inspector Aberline regarding our recent conclusions. I should also like to become a gas man and pay a visit to Bluto at the Wasp's Nest.
Understood, Holmes. I think one
fun.
of my old university colleagues who works at the London hospital will be able to help me. I shall write him a note at once. He should be able to see me during the day. Afterwards, shall we meet here?
Yes, Watson. See you later, and good luck.
I must get to the London hospital, where my old university colleague
But you were
works.
writing him a letter.
And then delivering it so that he can just talk to him.
Oh. Efficiency at its high point. Alright, well, I think we're going to end this episode here. We found a lot of clues. We built a timeline. We did some weird... What's the word I'm looking for? Motive calculating.
You didn't stab Watson this time. Well done.
Yeah, we didn't have to stab Watson. That was fun. But I also missed recreating the crime scene. That's the funnest one. The other ones suck. They're so dull and weird to put together. Yeah, so we will leave it there, and next episode we will go to the hospital, and maybe we get to masquerade around with Holmes as a gas boy. So, thank you for joining me, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.